In real estate, most deals don't fall apart over price. They fall apart because clients get stuck in hesitation, uncertainty, and a lack of direction. When a client stalls, struggling agents try to fix it by talking more and pushing more data across the table. Top producing agents do the exact opposite. They know how to step up and guide the decision. These 6 closing frameworks are designed to be used in under 60 seconds. They are not scripts designed for pressure. They are tools for providing clarity and leadership when your client needs it most. Before you use any of these, you have to get the setup right. Do not just memorize the words, internalize the intent behind them. Keep your tone calm, direct, and completely certain. Ask the closing question, then stop talking. Give the client the space to think and respond. Jumping in to fill that silence often kills the momentum of the deal. Mastering these basics ensures your guidance is welcomed, moving the process forward without the friction of a typical sales pitch. The first framework, the "you're already paying" close, addresses the fear of upfront costs. Clients often operate under the illusion that doing nothing is free. This animation illustrates the reality. They are actually paying hidden penalties in lost time on the market, lost leverage, and missed opportunities. We have to reframe that conversation into a reallocation of resources toward a strategy that actually works. Use this framework when you have a seller actively overpricing their home or a buyer dragging their feet in an active market. Our second framework is the Plan B close. We use this to address a client's belief that they have other viable options to fall back on. You simply ask them, "What is your plan if you don't move forward with this?" By forcing them to define their backup plan, they confront the failure of their current reality. It removes the option to comfortably do nothing and forces a pivot to a new strategy. This approach is highly effective for sale by owner conversations, buyers who are permanently waiting, or sellers resisting a necessary price reduction. These first 2 techniques dismantle the psychological safety net of the status quo. They prove to the client that inaction is actually the most expensive choice they can make. Next, we use the psychological principle of future pacing with the cost of waiting close. Ask the client to fast forward 6 to 12 months. If nothing changes, and they are sitting with the exact same goals and the exact same frustration, how does that feel compared to taking action today? People are highly motivated to avoid future pain. Apply this intervention when dealing with investors sitting on the sidelines or buyers paralyzing themselves while waiting for interest rates to drop. Our fourth framework is the permission close. This is used to transfer the emotional ownership of the decision directly to the client. Asking for permission to execute a strategy allows the client to validate the plan themselves. You ask, "Do I have your permission to help you move toward that result?" This puts the client in the driver's seat while you provide the technical execution. Deploy this at the end of your formal listing presentations or during deep buyer consultations when the client is engaged but still showing signs of hesitation. Notice how you are not doing the heavy lifting here. By using time and permission, you leverage the client's own internal motivations, prompting them to take responsibility for their own goals. As we get closer to the final decision, friction goes up. The worst-case scenario close is designed to handle a client's fear of the unknown. Look at this risk matrix. You ask the client to consider the absolute worst outcome over the next 60 to 90 days of the new strategy. Even if things go poorly, they gain exposure, data, and direction. Logically, making a move is much less risky than the high probability of failure if they stay exactly where they are. Use this for clients experiencing high fear, sellers who are terrified to officially list their property, or buyers sweating nervously over signing a contract. Finally, we have the 1% close. This is built for the lingering uncertainty that hits right before a decision is finalized. You acknowledge that if they were 100% certain, they would have already made the move. You remove the impossible standard of perfection. Tell them if even 1% of them feels this is the right direction, let's take that single step and build momentum from there. Keep this reserved for the absolute final moments of hesitation, right as the client is holding the pen, getting ready to sign the agreement. These final 2 frameworks show that a master agent does not need to eliminate all of a client's fear. You only need to reduce the perceived risk enough to allow for one single forward step. You now have 6 specific conversational frameworks. Each one is designed to diagnose and resolve a different type of client hesitation, completely free of high-pressure sales tactics. This aligns directly with the Smith Family Realty Texas philosophy. Every client is already leaning in a direction. Your duty is to identify that direction, strengthen their confidence in it, and help them act. When you execute these closes correctly, the entire tone of the interaction changes. The client no longer feels the pressure of a sales pitch. They feel the clarity of having a clear path forward. Take the time to internalize the intent behind these conversations. Replace sales pressure with genuine leadership, and bring the SFRT standard into your very next consultation.